So welcome to the show. Now if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing so that you're notified whenever I have a new video out. My channel is all about making you a better home cook. Now today's recipe again is part of my series of cooking with cheese brought to you by Cinnamon Cheese. Now today's recipe, the samosa, I've done a similar recipe, samosa, and today's version with cheese, I'm using cheddar cheese. So for the cheese that I'm using, the cheddar that I'm going to use together with the samosa, first of all, the cheddar cheese that they have three variants. There's the regular, there's the mature, and the chili one. It's a mild chili, so it's depending on your taste, so you choose whichever one that you like. One thing about it, when you cook with it especially, it melts slightly. It doesn't melt fully, but it has a nice flavor. It's buttery. So now we're going to go to the cooking part of the recipe, whereby we'll cook the meat, and then I'll show you how to incorporate the cheddar cheese after we have finished cooking the meat. So let's get started with the meat. Now, when you're making samosa, the most important thing you need is, when you're starting, is a hot pan or pot in this case, so that you actually cook the meat until it browns. So this is about half a kilo of meat. And what I did with the cheese, I cut them into small cubes. So with the cheese, when you're use the regular cheddar, don't use the mature one. Maybe you can use the chili one, that's fine, but not the mature one. Use the softer regular cheddar for this recipe. So now the idea when you're cooking this meat is to cook while you're breaking up the lumps, and you cook it on high heat. So some salt and pepper as well. And then at this stage, once the meat is halfway cooked, I'll add the onions. So my secret ingredient whenever I'm making samosa is cumin seeds. So I'm going to add it, not too much, it's for flavor, but I'm also remembering that I have flavor from the cheddar cheese. So for the meat, the idea is to let it start drying. So on high heat, so you turn off the heat, add chopped coriander, and finally, first of all, I want to stir just to make sure that they have enough of the coriander. I'll actually add some more, but before I do that, so it's turned off. You don't want the coriander to cook on heat, just let it cook using the heat from the meat. Finally, I'll add the cheddar. I cut them in chunks instead of grating it because I don't want them to fully melt. And then stir. And what happens when you add cheese, you choose, do you want cheese that is completely melted? Like when you add it when it's hot, it will be melted, but you can actually see it, and when you taste the meat, it actually has a nice cheesy flavor. Nice. So now fill it in my pockets, not too much. Now I have a procedure of how to make these pockets on my YouTube channel, so I'll actually add the link to that video within the video. You can also add some chili. I didn't add chili, but if you like, you can also add some chili. So that should be enough. Now when it comes to folding it, what you do is you press it on the top, a little bit of the glue, which is a mixture of flour and water, just a small amount, not too much. So, and then pull the top like that to stick on one side. So when you're doing this, also try and make sure that on each edge is tight. So now it's frying them. The oil is hot. It's at 180 degrees Celsius. All I need to do is to dip them into the hot oil so that they cook until they are golden brown. So you can actually freeze this and cook them later with the meat. The idea is to have them golden brown on both sides. And the secret is getting the oil the right temperature. If it's too hot, they will brown too fast before they cook nicely. But these ones are good. Once they are cooked, what happens is that they actually float. So in case they are floating and the oil and they are not golden brown, just increase the fire so that they brown. So there you have it. The samosas are ready. Smells really nice. The pastry is nice and crispy. Let me know how yours turns out and put it in the comments below. I'll also put the link to the cinnamon.co.ke online shop so that you can actually buy them online, but they're also available in all leading supermarkets. And I'm signing out, and until next time,